Hey guys, welcome to an all-new episode of Flea Market Finds right here on ToyWorldOrder.com, the only show on ToyWorldOrder.com where I give you an idea of just what I buy when it comes to flea markets, garage sales, auctions, antique stores, and so much more. And one of the reasons why I'm quickly running out of room in my toy cave. So that's the struggle of all the collectors, is what happens when you run out of shelf space. Get wider shelves, as my buddy Dave Draper would say. You know, I got a lot of cool stuff to show you this episode, and thought I'd start with a couple of interesting items, a couple of Disney items. One of the things that I found was an antique store Carrie and I went to recently. We happened across this very cool California collector plate for Disneyland that actually has, of course, the state of California on it, as well as Disney characters, licensed by Disney. I believe this was sold in the theme parks at one point. I want to say this is probably, it's got to be early 70s. Late 60s, early 70s. Found an antique store. It's in really good shape. The artwork and everything on the actual plates are really cool. A really nice find. Something really cool to add to my the Disney collection that Carrie loves so much, that continues to grow and grow and grow. So very, very cool item. One of the things we've discovered is a lot of online auctions that aren't just eBay, but auction houses that actually do live online auctions, and some very cool stuff always comes up there, and stuff that normally would go for ridiculous amounts of money on eBay, nobody ever bids on at these live auctions. And I look at it and go, well, I can't not bid on that, I gotta have it. But one of the things I bid on, I actually got a lot of these, and this is actually the other one. The other one I opened because the card was beat up, and the card's not in great shape, but it's a lot cleaner than the other one was. But I got the New Adventures He-Man Lizor figure, which is one of the European releases of this line that actually made its way over to the States in very, very limited amounts. But this is one of the several of the really hard to find characters from this line that you just really can't come across. But very cool, very neat. I was very happy to pick up two of these, one to open for my Masters collection, and this other one is up for grabs. It's just sitting here. I mean, it's got a little beat up, the actual peg, you know, somebody's put some tape on the top of it, and the card's got a little beat up, but he's still on his, you know, he's still in the bubble's still clear. Still great artwork on the card. So very, very cool find. Now, of course, recently Dave Draper and I went to the Kane County Toy Show up in Chicago, up near Chicago. And going to that show, you always find lots of very cool stuff. And one of the things I found was something I kind of wanted for a long time, ever since the Tomart's toy guides came out, the 3-volume toy books came out, and something I'd seen years and years ago that I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I always wanted that, and could never find one, and never really went to toy shows, didn't really look on eBay for it, so my fault. But I found one at Kane County for a pretty decent price, and that was the V Visitor 12-inch doll, which is kind of cool. It's the only figure they released for the V series, for the mini series. They were going to do a 3 3/4-inch line, LJN was, and just never happened. It got canceled. But this was a very cool 12-inch figure that I'd always wanted. I'd seen a bunch of them loose, and they were always missing their sunglasses, always missing the face mask, missing the gun. And this one, you can tell the box is kind of beat up. The guy had 39 on it. I think I talked him down to 30 just because it was so beat up, and knowing full well that eventually he's going to come out of this box. But the side of it was split, which is a plus, so at least I can keep the box in relatively good condition. And then, of course, you've got the actual figure here, and it's kind of neat because his little tongue comes out. If I can get it to bleh, bleh. His little tongue spins out. I mean, he's got, you know, he's got the rubber face mask, the gun. He's got the V enemy visitor uniform on. Very, very cool 12-inch figure, and something I'm very happy to add to my collection. Even though it's not something I normally collect, still a very, very cool item. So every year, Carrie and I venture to St. Louis to the Darkness, which is run by Scarefest. It's the nation's top haunted house. It is a 2-level, huge, enormous haunted house, and it takes probably about 45 minutes to an hour to get through both levels. Very, very cool. But at the very top, they have, which they just opened a couple years ago, this gift shop, and it's kind of a horror, you know, of course it's scary. It's a horror-themed gift shop and kind of museum. They've got a lot of props and stuff there, a lot of big full-size replica of costumes and stuff. But in the gift shop, one of the things I found, and it's kind of funny because I was just on a podcast recently with my good friend Ryan Porter and Pixel Dan Erdley talking about the Haunted Mansion for Halloween. Halloween. And one of the things we talked about was the chilling, thrilling sounds of the haunted house. And I actually found the 70s reissue of that LP in amazing, amazing shape. Very, very cool. I mean, this originally came out in the 60s before the Haunted Mansion actually opened. They reissued it again in the 70s, which is this orange reissue here. Very, very cool. I think I paid a whole whopping $5 for it, and I've seen these things go for like 20-30 bucks, which is crazy. But $5 for a really neat haunted house LP was something I couldn't pass up, and I was like, that's got to come home with me. I got to have that. And so here it stands. Now, like I said, Dave Draper and I went to Kane County Toy Show recently, and I'm going to wrap this episode of Flea Market Finds up with a very, very cool action figure line that he actually found for me at the recent Toyman Toy Show. Well, this past Toyman Toy Show that happened about a week after Kane County in November. He went there and found actually a bag full of Coleco Rambo figures from the Rambo line based on the film. And the funny thing is that these figures look like they've never been played with, they've never been touched. It looks like somebody literally opened them from the packages, stuck them in a bag and sold them. But I got everything with their weapons. So I got let's see, I've got my trusty tablet here to some of the names I'm kind of shaky on still, even though I know who they are. I'm like, what was his name again? So I got General Warhawk with his awesome little spring-loaded sword, and all his weapons. He came with quite a few. He came with a big AK, and he came with a big machine gun. So he was kind of cool. Let's see. I got Nomad, who's another very cool character. I think Nomad's missing a couple of his actual guns, but he has all his little accessories and everything in his little action backpack. Pacha! That gives him a black eye every time he goes to fire his little rocket launcher. Pacha! Very cool. I got Gripper. Gripper is a very cool figure with a little motorized backpack that, I don't know, it never wants to work right. It springs around with the bunch of 4 little Uzis so he can fire them at once. Very, very cool. Very neat. I got Mad Dog. Mad Dog's another cool one. The little mohawk and his knife and his whip, and he's got this awesome like shotgun that supposed to come up there, hit the spring, and it springs forward to give him this action blast. Very, very cool. And then I got one of the rare figures. I got Cat, which was the female figure in the line that I never saw in stores. She was very, very hard to find, but very, very cool toy line. Something that a lot of people forget existed, and then when they see it, they're like, they made a Rambo toy line? That's awesome. Coleco did a great job with these figures. These figures were very cool. They pretty much all of them had some kind of action feature, whether it was spring-loaded, like the spring-loaded war sword for the General, whether it was the original Rambo. He had a spring-loaded rocket launcher, which was kind of neat. Most of them had motorized or action feature backpacks. Very, very cool toy line. Something that I found a few of, like a Colonel Troutman on the card, and then these. And so I kind of want to continue building my collection up. And then I also got a 50, I think it's the 50mm gun, but it's this very, very cool little like 50mm shell rocket launcher with all the little rockets. The rockets are like super teeny tiny. Oh God, I'm gonna lose them here. Teeny tiny little rockets. Very, very cool though. It was nice of him to pick those up and sent me a text, and he goes, I found your bag of Rambo figures. And when I got them recently from him, I looked at them, I was like, I don't think these things have ever been played with. These things have all their weapons, are amazing shape, perfect condition. So luckily, it was a very, very small line that was pretty well contained within a couple of waves, so it won't be hard to find the rest of these figures at a decent price complete. So very, very cool to add to my collection. Very, very happy with them. So there you go, guys. That'll wrap us up on this episode of Flea Market Finds. I hope you enjoyed some of the stuff you saw today. Be sure to check out toyworldorder.com for all the latest toy reviews we've got going on there, for more episodes of Flea Market Finds, as well as the podcast, Dave and Devall's Toys and Collectibles, and Married to the Collection. You can follow me on Twitter at Puppet Devall. Make sure you do that. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you haven't yet. Please hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. Watch our videos. It helps us out tremendously. It continues to give me the opportunity to do videos like this for you, the fans. So make sure you check those out. And until next time, gang, keep digging, because you never know what you're going to find. Yeah, little grappling hook here. Whatcha? Da 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 da. No, it's a different movie, but still. Da 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 da.